We are here today again on the issues that are happening here in South Africa. Today, we are talking about the xenophobic attacks that has been happening in Johannesburg, in places around Johannesburg. So today we are having our guests. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Loveness Gotora in Johannesburg. And today we are having our guest, the Joburg chairman, Comrade Mate. Comrade Mate, can you please introduce yourself to the world?
Thank you very much, Loveness, for having me in your program tonight. Yes, my name is Bongani Sasangela Mate. Yes, I'm the current champion leader of our Johannesburg structure. And I would like to welcome everybody in the program. Thank you, your viewers.
And I have heard some people calling you Majecha. Where did that name come from? Why do they call you Majecha?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't know exactly why they're calling me that name, but I suspect that the manner I tackle issues, especially, of course, political issues, I'm that kind of a person who is straightforward. Anyone who um, actually goes offline or someone who does not follow the party processes well, then I do not waste time. I actually correct that person there and there, regardless where we are. Just correct that person, whether we are in a meeting, wherever we are. So then that's why people they say, "Oh, the Kiro Church," things like that.
I like that. I like that. Okay, getting back to our topic today, it has been trending on social media that there have been xenophobic attacks around Johannesburg. Which area exactly have been affected by those attacks?
Okay. Yeah, it has been a thorny issue, this xenophobic thing. You remember it does not start recently. It started way back 2008, where a lot of people lost their lives, and it went down for some time. Of course, we've always during those years, leading to 2022. We were having sporadic incidences across South Africa. What is more disturbing now about this xenophobic attack is that it seems like now um, this violence has been formalized. What do I mean formalized? Now, if you follow closely what actually happens around South Africa or Johannesburg, you will see that there's a structured organization that has got a chairman, that has got a secretary, that has got an organizing secretary, that has got coordinators, structure that has branches across Johannesburg. You see branches being formulated, branches that are meant to be xenophobic branches. Um, so it disturbs a lot because if you look at it, this branch or this structure, it does it. If you look closely, it does not fight its wars. It seems these people are simply fighting secondary wars. Why am I saying that? Um, it is because if you look closely, this branch is fighting for someone elsewhere. I wouldn't be at liberty to disclose exactly, but it seems there is powerful people who are behind this organization. Of late, yes, we see police are coming in to try and put this organization under control. This organization, I think, may know loveness, is called Dula, Operation Dula, things like that. These operations are actually aiming at citizens of one nation. For example, they are aiming at attacking only Zimbabweans, which actually comes as a surprise because South Africa is the host nation for so many nationalities from all over the world. Yes, we understand that Zimbabweans are many here in South Africa. Our numbers, yes, of course, there are many, but it does not actually mean that we have to be discriminated against other nationalities and be targeted for violence. Should I say xenophobic attacks be targeted at us? You asked about the areas that have been affected so far in Johannesburg. Alexandra Township has actually been the most affected. Also, we've got Taffontein, which is not far from where I am. We've had people being attacked and actually being displaced, and their properties being destroyed. What actually the problem is that after those people run away, it is very difficult to trace them. So far, I'm aware of these attacks that actually happened in Taffontein, Alexandra, and surrounding areas.
Okay, you just mentioned about Alexandra. This Dula operation, it is said they got furious when the foreign nationals started fighting back. Is it true that they were fighting back?
Yes, it so happened that in Alexandra, when they started their operation of evicting foreign nationals, the foreign nationals group also and defended themselves because you must look back. History will tell us that these xenophobic attacks they would actually leave people dead in most cases. But some foreign nationals joined hands, despite the fact that they were not only Zimbabweans, but other nationalities as well, like the Malawians, the Mozambicans, also were part of the targeted groups. And at this time, they joined hands and they actually fend the attacks.
Okay, so far, are there any Zimbabwean families that you know, or some who have reported missing, or some who got injured? And if there are some families who were injured or something during the operation, how bad are injuries? Are there some people who died, or it's just injuries?
When we actually went for a fact-finding mission recently with my team, we failed to locate Zimbabweans. The the only people that we spoke to, of course, they were also not sure who we are and what was our motive. Since we are not from the area, we're more of strangers. So people were actually reluctant to talk to us. I remember there was this one lady from Mozambique. She's the one who actually explained to us what actually transpired. And we then, from there, tried to make a follow-up and find out if we can meet the leadership from this group. They are so evasive to meet us. They avoided us. And you recall that earlier on I mentioned that it seems this group is handled somewhere. They are not actually themselves. They are fighting someone is who, which only time will tell who they are fighting against Zimbabwe.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman Martin. So as Zimbabweans, what can we do? What do we think Zimbabweans must do to avoid these xenophobic attacks? Because they are saying whether you have a permit or not, you must go home. Whether you are married or you got married to a South African, you must prepare to go with your South African or whatever you must do, whether you have papers or not. What do you think we can do about that?
Yeah, as Zimbabweans, we must look, first we must look at the source of the problem. Why are we here? Why are we in a foreign land? What actually has gone wrong in our country is as to find ourselves being called such names. We are actually a proud nation. Yes, some people might say we've got pride. Yes, I'm happy that Zimbabweans have got that pride. First, for who we are, we've got a culture that actually respects other people. Not to mention the fact that, well, our literate rate is actually high compared to other countries around us, should I say SADC. Furthermore, we find ourselves in this situation because of selfish leadership back home, people who cannot lead, people who cannot run the country correctly. You will find that most people, especially from Machineland and Midlands, most of them came way back in the 80s when the then Prime Minister Robert Mugabe unleashed violence against the citizens. And most citizens were killed then. And those who survived, they actually crossed the border and found a refuge in South Africa. It did not end there. They went ahead and in the 90s, they introduced what we call ESAP, Economic Structural Adjustment, which actually rendered so many people jobless. And the people were forced to cross the border looking for employment because that ESAP program actually left so many people jobless. It did not end there. They continued actually dismantling whatever the little that was there in Zim in form of industries. Look, year 2000, where they invented everything, including firms that they didn't even know how to run them, but they had the guts to invent those firms. I will just name a few firms that were invented. In Bulawayo, there was a GMD firm which was manufacturing shoes, and it was actually taken over by the likes of Philip Chiangwa, and it just died a natural death. And most industries surrounding where we had Melin, the company, there was a company called Melin, even Download, the company that was employing thousands of people in Zim, it actually closed down. So many, I can go on and go on. So all those people that found themselves without jobs, they then had to look for alternatives. As if that was not enough, ZANU-PF, or they actually used state apparatus against the citizens when they saw that the citizens were no longer actually favoring their policies. They unleashed violence, and so many people were displaced. Most people ran to other countries as refugees. So the reasons why we find ourselves here are so many. And there's quite a lot of things that we can also do to try and correct this situation. First and foremost, as Zimbabweans, we must come as one and actually speak with one language. As of now, as Zimbabweans, we are so divided, even here in South Africa, we are so divided. It's just each man for himself, God for us all, which actually makes us easy targets for those who are fighting other people's souls. They feast on us because we are actually so fragmented here in South Africa. Unlike other nationalities, where you find that they've got organizations that actually they belong to, as for example, I'll give you an example of Nigerians. Nigerians, you've got a Nigerian community structure whereby every Nigerian actually subscribe to that organization, regardless of what is happening back in their country. But whenever they are in foreign lands, they speak with one voice and they've got one leader. That's number one. Number two, the most important thing as Zimbabweans, we need to go back home and register to vote, so that when election time comes, we are found to be equal to the task and vote in numbers, so that we can remove the dictatorship and actually usher in the president, whom we all know has got the interests of the people at heart. The president who will actually lead this country to the Canaan we always cry for. As you know, that yesteryears, Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa. If you talk of that now, you will be as good as actually telling a fairy tale, because we've got nothing to show of that. That at one stage we at that level. However, it's not late for Zimbabweans to actually correct the situation. We've got the government that does not care. We've got the government that is so evil that it kills people. So it is us here, because as far as I understand, we're almost 1 million, if not more, here. And the people who voted at home the last time, if you look at the statistics, if that number that is here in South Africa, maybe 50% of the number based in South Africa, if they voted back then, could be talking about a different story.
Oh yeah, well, that is such an ugly history that Zimbabwe has. But it looks like this history is just continuing. Those selfish leaders uh, who have been ruling the country since 1980, although they have changed from the Mugabe era and now we are in the Mnangagwa's era, the things are not changing. It's like they are getting worse. Uh, it looks like they all have the same mindset. They don't have that mindset of changing the country of or the lives of Zimbabweans. They don't care about the citizens, but they only care about themselves. So this selfish leadership, uh, how do we get them out? It looks like they still want to be there, although uh, everyone looks like they doesn't want them anymore. We try by all means, people try by all means, they vote, but you end up seeing that they win somehow. And here, the other reason why those xenophobic attacks are happening, they are saying, go back to your country and fix your country. How do you think we can fix our country when those leaders are so selfish? They don't listen to the citizens. They only care for themselves.
Okay. Look, the founder of ZANU-PF, the late Robert Mugabe, failed to find a successor within his party. And what is happening now, it will tell you why he did not find a successor within ZANU-PF. Because if you look at the current leadership, none of them actually meets or even is half Mugabe or a quarter Mugabe. If you look the current president and those surrounding him, you will just see actually a group of people who are actually interested with enriching themselves. They are interested only in looting the country's resources. They are interested in actually protecting power at all costs and abusing the state institutions like the military and the police. We can talk and talk and talk and talk, but as Zimbabweans, especially here in South Africa, people must come under the yellow umbrella. People must come under this Triple C umbrella, because this Triple C umbrella actually embraces everybody, irregardless of background, irregardless of where you come from, who you are, you can name it. So everyone is welcome in this umbrella, so that we speak in one voice. We're speaking of xenophobic attacks. If it so happens that most of us are under one umbrella, it becomes very easy for us to try and minimize these xenophobic attacks. I am actually against the use of violence to try and actually fend off xenophobic attacks. We are in a foreign land. We cannot be seen fighting against the South Africans. The least we can do is to actually maybe, if attacked, we rush to the police. And the police have been doing a tremendous job of late, and they've been protecting the attacked citizens. So all Zimbabweans, urging you, never at any given time try to form groups as to fight back the South Africans. Yes, of course, if you are cornered and you would like to free yourself, yes, that's when maybe you can defend yourself. But let us not initiate the attacks. Let us actually be vigilant at all times and try to stay away from violence.
Thank you very much, Chairman. You have mentioned a lot of points that will help us as Zimbabweans. I'm sure the world can hear and they will try to follow some of the points that you have mentioned tonight. Uh, it's true that violence is not the result. Violence we cannot allow it, we cannot promote it, but peace, as we are under the CCC, the yellow umbrella, we talk of peace, we don't talk of violence. Unless at some point, I don't know, and in some situations which we can fail to control, that's when people can fight back. But here in South Africa, I don't think it was right for people, for those foreign nationals to fight back to Dula team. They got them angry, very angry. And you know, we are in their country. Whether they are wrong or right, we will end up being the wrong ones because we are not in our country. They will always be right because they are in their country. They are fighting for their land. They are fighting for their job. They are fighting for everything. So this is it. Thank you very much, Chairman Mate, for your time that you have given us. I'm sure the world have learned a lot from you tonight, and they will follow your guidance. Thank you very much, the viewers who have taken their time. And I've been seeing comments coming in. I will be getting back to your comments. I'll be replying your comments very soon. Thank you very much for your time, viewers. This is the end of our program. So we say good night for now.
Thank you, viewers.